I arrived in the seaside town with a simple goal. I wanted to observe daily life, talk to residents, and learn the way people communicated in real situations. I thought my English skills were strong enough for friendly conversations, but I soon realized that the town had a language style of its own. Locals spoke quickly, blended words together, and used expressions I had never seen in textbooks. During my first conversation at a small cafe, the barista smiled and asked, "Rough morning. How it happens to everyone in our neck of the woods." I froze. I knew every individual word, yet the full sentence felt like a puzzle. That moment began my challenge of decoding local slang. I rented a small room above a bakery, and every morning I listened to people chatting downstairs. They used phrases like, "spill the tea," "hit the spot," and "giving me the chills." Their voices rose and fell with friendly confidence, and their expressions sounded musical. I wanted to join in, but I was afraid of misunderstanding someone. I reminded myself that learning a language was not only about vocabulary lists. It was also about culture, personality, and shared experiences. One afternoon, I visited the town library. A group of students sat around a large wooden table discussing their weekend plans. I heard one of them say, "That movie was a total flop." Another laughed and replied, "Tell me about it." I almost walked out halfway. I recognized the structure but not the meaning. I wrote the phrases down in my notebook and promised myself that by the end of the week, I would understand all of them. The next morning, I joined a community walk that started by the lighthouse. The group consisted of residents of all ages. As we walked along the rocky shore, people exchanged stories with lively expressions. A tall man pointed at a cafe across the street and said, "They make the best sandwiches here. They never miss the mark." I recognized this as another slang phrase. I asked him to explain it, and he laughed kindly. He told me that "never miss the mark" meant something that was consistently good. That small explanation felt like a victory. As the week went on, I collected more slang phrases. I heard people say "hang tight," "piece of cake," "on the same page," and "bursting with pride." Each phrase seemed to have a story behind it. I learned that slang grew from shared history, daily routines, and common feelings. It helped people express themselves quickly and vividly. I began to notice patterns. Many phrases were metaphorical. Many came from sports, food, or nature. Some were playful exaggerations that added humor to conversation. One evening, I attended a small music event in the town square. A local band performed folk songs, and groups of friends stood around chatting. I heard a young woman say, "That song hits different." Curious, I asked her what she meant. She explained that the phrase was used when something created a stronger or deeper emotion than expected. She seemed happy that I cared about learning their expressions. Her explanation made me feel welcomed. Day by day, I practiced using the slang I had learned. At the bakery, I told the owner that his pastries hit the spot, and he laughed with delight. At the bookstore, I described my favorite novel as a story that kept me hooked. People responded warmly. They appreciated my effort, and I felt the barrier between us slowly disappearing. I was no longer an outsider trying to understand the town. I was becoming part of its daily rhythm. Toward the end of my stay, the community center organized a friendly challenge called the Local Slang Quiz Night. Residents competed in teams to guess the meaning of phrases, explain origins, and create sentences using slang naturally. Someone encouraged me to join. I hesitated at first, but then I remembered Mrs. Harris's advice. Learning required courage, curiosity, and willingness to be imperfect. When the event began, the host stood at the front of the room with a wide grin. The first question appeared on the board. What does it mean when someone says that a task is a piece of cake? I raised my hand slowly and answered, "It means the task is very easy." The room clapped lightly, and confidence warmed my chest. The next question was about the phrase, "spill the tea." I explained that it meant sharing interesting or surprising news. I saw nods of approval around the room. Round after round, I answered more questions. Sometimes I knew the meaning. Sometimes I guessed based on context. Sometimes I laughed at my own mistakes. The atmosphere was friendly, and people encouraged me. By the final round, I realized that I was no longer afraid of slang. I understood it. I could use it. I could enjoy it. After the event, an elderly man approached me. He said he admired my effort and told me that language learning was a journey of connection. He said that slang helped people express emotion in ways that formal words could not. His words stayed with me long after the night ended.